Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hi YouTube, I'm Charmaine Jamil and welcome back to another video. This week's video, as you can see, is all about perfumes, how to build a stellar perfume collection. So with this particular video, I have two goals that I want to achieve by the end of the video. One, I want to give you my top tip that really, once I figured this out, it really changed my mindset about how I purchase perfume, as well as I want to give you my top 10 recommendations of perfumes, just in case you're in the market to try a new perfume. These are, my top 10 go-to perfume. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So my tip that really changed my mind about buying perfume is really explore really heavily the samples, as well as the travel sprays and the sample boxes that are offered with a mix of different perfumes within the box. And so let's be honest here, perfumes are not cheap. And they can really range depending on what size bottles you purchase, really from $20 all the way up to $300. It just really depends on if it's a high-end luxury perfume or a low-end perfume. It really just depends. And also adding in the factor if it is a more highly concentrated perfume or a lower concentrated toilette. And, so there is a difference with that. And it really just all depends on what your preference is. And so really using the tip of really exploring the samples, that is how I've been able to at least build what you see here thus far. And so this may not be a lot of perfume to some people, but to me, this is a lot of perfume, especially because I work from home. So I don't have to wear or get dressed per se and spray perfume on myself every day because I'm not going out in the public every single day. So this perfume that you see here really is a lot personally for me. And so what you're seeing here is 57 of like the small samples that either I purchased them with the sample boxes where it has an array of perfumes in the box, or a lot of times if you've already ordered something from Sephora and you're one of their Rogue or VIP members or just one of their Sephora members that has an account with them, you can get samples of like hair items, perfume samples, skincare items. And so anytime, without a doubt, that's why I always like to order off Sephora.com instead of going into the store, because you can always see whatever perfume sample that they are offering. And so with these particular perfume samples here, the 57 that I was kind of telling you about, I have been able to try a couple of things that I normally would not have gone to a perfume counter to really check these out, just simply because they weren't necessarily on my radar, but for them to either be in a sample that comes with an item that I've purchased or being in one of those larger sample boxes. I have been able to try out the Chanel Coco Mademoiselle, which I've, never really explored Chanel perfume. Also the Givenchy Irresistible, the Jo Malone's. I absolutely love the Jo Malone Discovery Set. And I think you get 5 of the samples if I'm not mistaken. I think you get either 4 or 5 samples if I'm not mistaken. But that Discovery Set is $20. And so you have, because this is one of them, the Panini and Blush Suede, absolutely one of my favorites, as well as this one here is that's the same one, Panini and Blush. There's the Nectarine Blossom and Honey, but you can see I got them all in the Discovery Set. Like I said, I think it's like 4 or 5 in a box for $20. And, with perfume, you don't need to spray, drench yourself in it. So although these are small samples, a little goes a long way, especially if it's a quality, potent perfume. And so when I say that about exploring samples, and even just using the example of the Jo Malone Discovery set, the first plus about exploring these particular sample is the price. And so when you're exploring these particular sample, you really can get a good price on a lot of these different perfumes. So for example, the Discovery set for the Jo Malone, I am really into the travel size bottles. And so one of my favorite perfumes, which is actually one of my top 10 recommendations, which is the YSL Libre, these particular travel size sprays, and not that I, just travel so much to put these in my bag. If I'm going out, I will break out one of these travel size sprays simply because one travel size spray is $34. And so when you're thinking about a 1 ounce size bottle, for example, like this particular one here, which is the YSL Mon Paris, this 1 ounce bottle is $85 versus the travel size spray of the same perfume, and that is $34. And so it's a little bit, different if you're gifted. Like I was gifted this perfume, but I was actually looking into purchasing this perfume because I absolutely love it, which this is another one of my top 10 recommendations. But it's just kind of a difference in, spending your money, paying $34, and really seeing if you're really ready to commit to a larger bottle of $85 or even, a larger size bottle, something along these lines that go up into $150 to $200. That's a major commitment, and especially if you're not going to wear it very often. So price is one thing that really helps you keep some money in your pocket when you're exploring the samples or the travel size perfumes. Another point for doing the samples or exploring the samples is trying unisex perfume. So I would have never had the opportunity or really explored, let me say not had the opportunity, but I would have never explored the opportunity to try unisex perfumes if I had not bought the sample box. And in one of the sample boxes that I purchased, I was able to get the Tom Ford Aubrey Leather and the Tom Ford Ode to Wood. Those perfumes, or I don't know if they're perfumes or colognes or what, but I use them as a layering of perfume to layer with a higher note or a lighter note, an airy note. And once I mix those two together, I absolutely love that high-low end smell where it's like a light feminine scent versus kind of a cigar, old wood smell. Some things that you can kind of wear out at night. I would have never explored that opportunity if I had not received those particular samples in the box samples that I purchased. So that is, reason number 2 to go and explore the samples or the travel sizes when you're wanting to build a stellar perfume collection. And I've already kind of mentioned my third point, which is layering. And so when I layer, one of my top layers that I do is doing the Tom Ford Ode to Wood, and then I layer that with the Giorgio Armani My Way. It's my absolute favorite. When I'm going out to dinner and I have on kind of like jeans and a blazer, and I'm going for that look, kind of like a dressed down, dressed up look with some pumps, but I don't want anything too strong. Those 2 layers, absolutely love them. But that's another opportunity that you get to kind of play with and explore when you are buying samples. And it's not heavy on your pocket to explore it, because if I don't like it, then, putting that one bottle out of my collection is not going to make or break the whole collection. The next thing, or the last thing, with buying the sample boxes, you can receive up to 16 to 18 small samples in one box. And that's a lot of perfume when you really think about it. And essentially, it gives you the opportunity to change up. You don't have to smell the same every single day or every time you go out to dinner or every time you go out to lunch. You literally can build a different scent for yourself. When you're exploring those particular samples, it really gives you the freedom to match those things up, layer them, maybe put 2 perfumes together, put a toilette and a perfume together. Really gives you the freedom to kind of just play with it to find out what your scent is. And so the last tip, or the last reason, which is kind of a bonus tip in my opinion, is that buying these particular samples or travel size sprays, they really give you the opportunity to come across new fragrances that you probably would have never known about, because those particular perfumes are not in mainstream media to have that advertised, your eyes on those advertisements. And that was the case for me with quite a bit of the perfumes that came in the sample size boxes. And so I did select 3 of those. And so I would have never really probably reached out to look for the Pacquiao Raven, the Fame perfume. But I did get this, I want to say I got this in, I think it was like the Saks Fifth Avenue Beauty, 25 Days of Beauty. I think this came in. I do know the next one is by Clean Reserve Skin Reserve Blend. That's a perfume that I would have never come across, as well as Alien by Goddess Muggler. I probably would have never come across those particular perfumes, even if I went to a perfume counter, unless there was like a sales associate that was literally handing it to me and saying, please smell this. I would have never come across those particular perfumes. And not to say that those are not in mainstream media, I'm just saying what I pay attention to the majority of the time. And so with that being said, that is my main tip, that really once I explored samples, travel size, and the sample boxes, then that's when I could kind of be secure in making the commitment to buying the larger bottles where I would spend $150 on. So I'm just gonna quickly run through my top 10 recommendations. And the reason that I'm recommending either, and these are in no particular order, they can go from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. But the reason that I really love these particular recommendations is because, like I was mentioning earlier, sometimes our body, our hormones change, and sometimes you can put those perfumes on and it'll have a totally different scent just because it's mixing in with, who you are for that part of the month. But the reason that I really like these top 10 perfumes is because they have some of the most consistent pairings or consistent smells every single time I put them on. And that truly is why the Blooming Bouquet, the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, is really my signature scent. If I had nothing else, if I had none of these particular samples or perfumes, as long as I had my Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, I'd be fine. But my first one is the YSL Mon Paris. This is an absolute, I love wearing this to an early dinner. The smell, I don't know, it's just airy. It's light, it's airy, it's not bold and in your face, but yet feminine. So that is number one. And it comes in a travel size spray for, for your price range. Ones that I actually just purchased as a birthday gift to myself is the Burberry Her. Burberry Her is one that I typically go to just kind of on a daily if I'm just going to go out, run errands, or if I'm just gonna go for a day of shopping and I just wanna smell good, I will put on Burberry Her. Absolutely love it. Very light, airy. I like light, airy perfumes for the day, stronger, more potent scents for the evening or the nighttime. And YSL Libra is also another recommendation that I have that I think you should explore. I absolutely, as I mentioned, the Jo Malone, love all of those particular perfumes. However, the Jo Malone London English Pear is my absolute favorite. That to me reminds me of throwing on some jeans, a white t-shirt, some really cute loafers. You could probably wear a baseball cap and some lipstick and put on some English Pear from Jo Malone London, and it just smells like you are chic. That's how I feel the smell of it is. The next, my next recommendation number 5, is the Jimmy Choo Born in Roma perfume. Absolutely love it. And truth be told, Jimmy Choo is in the mainstream media as far as advertising for their perfume, but I guess I just don't pay attention to it as, I just didn't pay attention to it, I'll just say that. But it did come in a sample box that I purchased, and so when I'm thinking about the next size, at least 1 ounce bottle that I'm going to purchase, that most likely is going to be the Jimmy Choo, and I'm sorry, it's the Jimmy Choo I Want You Forever. I apologize. The Valentino, which is my 6th recommendation, that is the Born in Roma. Smells absolutely wonderful. And also I like that Valentino or Jimmy Choo one as a layering. I like to layer those with other perfumes. And they both are very distinct scents that they don't merge into just another scent that you have no idea what it's going to smell like. But like they keep their individuality while being paired with another scent. And then, of course, I talked about these, the Dior Addict. Both of them are Dior Addict. It's just one is a perfume, which is a lot heavier. I tend to wear this more at nighttime. I call these my after 5 perfumes versus the Toilette, which is my daytime perfume. I'm sorry, daytime toilettes. And so these are the next 2 recommendations if you ever are looking to explore. And then, of course, I've already stated about the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, and then, of course, the Dior J'adore. I think you can kind of tell that Dior is my signature go-to brand as far as a perfume is concerned, or a toilette is concerned. However, you know, really exploring all of the travel sizes and samples, it really helped me to grow a stellar collection, because they were scents that I never really thought about, like the Viktor and Rolf, the Maison Margiela, the Gucci Flora, the Ralph Lauren Romance, another one, Chloe. So that's all these that you kind of see there. But yeah, so that's really my number 1 tip, and my 4 reasons why I think you should explore that tip of really hitting up those samples, travel sizes, and box samples, because you really can grow a very deep, concentrated perfume collection without breaking the bank, which is my number 1 goal. I don't know about yours. So that's all I have for you today. That's the end of this video. If you're still watching at this particular point, drop me some recommendations of perfumes or toilettes that you absolutely love, that you feel that I should try, because I am all about receiving recommendations from other people and learning. And so I really want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I will see you next time.